Well, finally, I've been waiting for you to review it.
For those who care about the safety of their devices, so that you at least somehow understand that there really are sounds in the launcher. Hello, friends, this is Banner, and today we will finally review Frog Launcher 2.
Well, finally, I've been waiting for you to review my launcher.
Ilya, maybe you could tell us a little about your product?
Actually, I already have a video about Frog Launcher 2 on my channel. Guys, you can watch it by clicking the link in the description.
Great. Friends, don't forget to look at the description. There you will find another video about the launcher. And now we begin our review. But first, a disclaimer. I've mentioned Frog Launcher 2 a lot, but I haven't shown it live yet. Before we get into the full review, I want to reassure those who are worried about the security of their devices. The launcher is completely open. Its source code is available on GitHub, so you don't have to worry about viruses. Oh, and normal translations. I haven't fully updated the translations yet. If you have any questions, you can always contact the developer directly, either via KitKat or Discord. He's almost always in touch, probably. Well, let's start with the most important thing, namely installing the launcher itself. You can choose two ways. The first is through the site, but there is a more reliable way through GitHub. There you enter the release tab and download the latest version from there. After downloading, you will be greeted by the installer, but I will tell you about it later. And one more important detail, that there is such a thing as a smart screen. If any of you use Windows, remember this is crap. It only affects the GitHub repo because it's so unknown. It doesn't know what it is, so it blocks it. But you can continue. And there's also no sound. Well, there are sounds, but they're not on the recording. Okay, but I'm adding them, so that you'll at least somehow understand that there really are sounds in the launcher. And that's great. And there's also a little Easter egg for you. If you visit this toad, there will be sound. That's all. Yeah. Okay, here we go. First of all, what's waiting for us? This is news. There is news about this very launcher. We made a skin system. If you didn't know, well, you can study this news yourself and find out what's so special about this. A huge one from a demon, but the settings are more interesting. So the main color. You can set the main color to just any, just your favorite. You can also turn off CC effects or turn off animations. Well, these animations so that they don't affect it so much. There are also launcher languages, that is, there are Chinese, German, English, Russian, and Ukrainian. If there are any questions about the language, know that the translation is a bit crap. But I will fix it in the future. It's just up to me to deal with the translation of the gameplay here. This is already more interesting. Automatically install a dependency for the mod. If, for example, you download a mod, but it needs some dependency. For example, an API factory. You take it, download the mod itself, and the API factory should automatically download, but this does not happen before. But this is still experimental, but already interesting. You can also choose to open the console. You can already read, okay, I won't tell you. Launch parameters. Here will be a folder for storing your files for the game. Nothing interesting, I know. And then a complete separation of the version. Again, this is experimental. Everything that is experimental does not necessarily mean that it works. In short, you can separate the versions. Like this, well, sometimes they create an inside folder for you through which is more logical, but here it creates a hill folder and that's it. This will be more convenient, and it will be easier for you to figure out what is where and how. And a fix for network play. If any of you use the YOLI.by system, I will please you a little that this fix actually fixes the error. Those who also play on the version of 1.16.5 might have noticed this screen. You know, this fix also fixes everything. Thanks, Ilya. Admit it, where did you steal the fix? Java parameters can automatically install Java for you. Remind me, if you don't know where to install Java or suddenly don't trust the launcher, there are repositories on GitHub where they describe in detail each site where you can download Java separately, install it separately, then the modpack system. Here you can either install, create, or import, but you have two options for importing, either via zip or not at all. And then the server tab. I won't go there then, no one paid me for advertising after all. And here is where I have the most quibbles. Here I launched it. The thing is, it was completely a little different there. By the way, unfortunately, you can't delete a local account. Oh, it never existed. Explaining here was just without my account, but there was a big square. I would like it to be a little different, for example, for beginners. when there is no account at all so that it is displayed in the center, and showed such a system as Microsoft Offline, Yolubai, and the ProCloud system. Well, Frogskins, but I will call Frog Launcher. Okay, and I would also like it to be Frog Launcher after all, but so that it stands out, that is, for beginners, so that it is in the center of attention. And not on the side. And already on the side, when someone has at least some account, oh well, let it stay that way. So we looked at the launcher. I'm sure you're interested in my opinion, and everyone's rating may be different, but I gave this launcher an 8 out of 10. The main problem is the installer. Ilya, try making the launcher more straightforward to use. You could, for example, use XMCL, HMCL, or LexPoint. Here's an example of how I'd like to see it. If that's possible, of course. I think it would be more convenient for users to launch the launcher itself right away, and then set everything up there. Instead of installing, just sit there while it's installing. You can, of course, extract everything via 7-zip. But I think a straightforward installation would be better. There are some bugs, but I'm glad that Ilya responds to them promptly. The same goes for new ideas. I hope the launcher will be even better in the future. Thanks for being with me. See you there on new adventures. Great. That's it for this video. Now I can move on to the next project. On my next list, soon I'll be able to introduce you to the world, my dear friend.